which one of us is supposed to do it. But yeah, welcome back everyone to this week of Talent League. I'm Rick and Morty, and with me, whichever side it is, be um 1B, and yeah, we're gonna be watching a game of Hyperion versus Hyferion, I believe, versus Blue Jays. And what do you think of this matchup, especially the map? Would you like to tell them what the maps are?
Yeah, I like the both of the maps. We're gonna be playing Chalet and Coastline, two very attacker-sided maps as per statistics would tell you. And both of these teams very energetic, very aggressive teams, and I'm happy. I wanna see some of that translate into today's game.
I'm
Uh,
just excited that we're not
especially
gonna get Oregon.
thank God, yeah. I hate Oregon so much. Thank God.
I mean, I think realistically, is there a caster who doesn't right now? I mean, is there even? I mean, maybe the players will be like, yeah, it's like a very basic map. We love it, but at least now we're gonna actually see a map where strategy can be talked about. It's a map. Well, Coastline got a new meta, so a lot of strategy is still being developed. Play is pretty much newer than Oregon, so and especially because it doesn't see as much play, we're gonna see some maybe some innovative stuff coming out of at least in terms of seeing it being played in tier 4. I'm sure tier 1 and tier 2 teams do play Chile quite either way. It will be interesting, very exciting, of course.
Being they'll confirm it very soon. Uh, I'm just waiting for them to confirm it. But is there a player specifically that you're looking out for in this matchup?
I definitely would not know any of the players, so I would not try to claim that I'm gonna be rooting for anyone or say that anyone is. But you know what? We're gonna have two maps, which means the way the first map develops, we can then go from that and see who's really frogging out this game. We'll make some more educated guesses as time goes on. Now, Chile is gonna be the first map. Of course, we're gonna have well,
Uh-oh. Forgot to change the things. Oop. Alright, well, first yeah, it's fine. First band to come out, we're gonna be a Flores or Thatcher. Thatcher and Flores are usually the norm here on Chalet to be banned. And of course it's gonna be a Thatcher ban. I mean, who else would it be?
I mean, what do you expect from Tiers 4? I mean, last week we got no Thatcher ban in the first map, which was a real surprise for everyone. So that was great. And they actually banned Flores on Oregon, which was wow. Okay, they actually did something sensible. And banning Thatcher in this map, I'm just like, yeah, sure, he's has a lot of use, especially so does Flores. So both bans are just basically by the book essentially. And the defense ban should at least be somewhat more interesting. Maybe just the Kate ban, of course, because the Kate ban, of course, if you play attack, you gotta prevent them from having those Kate claws being hit anywhere where they needed to. You know that there are plenty of spots on this map where you can put a Kate claw on another floor and it will electrify the wall of the site. Now the Womai is pretty much also sensible. He has 6 magnets. He's basically Jaeger. I mean, slightly better than Jaeger right now. Just like slightly because he has to place them down. He has to survive. The Goyo ban, well, very interesting, of course, mostly because he has those 2 shields. Otherwise, Kate is open, which might mean some trouble for the attacking team, but we'll see how that develops.
Yeah, interesting. Well, not really interesting. The Flores bin is kind of cool because he can clear a lot of utility with his Flores drones. I've actually seen my bin quite a lot in tier 4, and but the Goyo is a little bit new to me. I don't think I've seen Goyo ban quite as much as you would see a Kaid or maybe even a Mira, even on a map like Chalet or even just Valkyrie, somebody who provides like a critical amount of detail. But those fire shields are very potent, and it the lineup coming out from Hyferion5 is very well, not interesting. It's kind of like the norm. You see the Buck come out, you also see Nomad and a Finka, with Finka getting the Gon 6 and those 2 nades. her utility is just a lot more viable for attackers to bring, especially like those, in and out fraggers.
Defenders, protect your bombs
It's
from being
interesting to me
defused
is
by
that they are
attackers.
not bringing Ace. I mean, if you attack this map, any
Yeah.
tier 1 team will bring Ace. Maverick is okay, but realistically, what are you actually going to Maverick trade, right? Or you gonna perhaps let's thoughts for a second. For example, you could open garage wall. You could open some of the walls inside of trench. You go in from trench and you open the wall inside of line somewhere right there. But you don't have an actual breach. You have a few holes. You don't have an actual, which is the issue. And Maverick is very slow, and he could always be killed
Yeah.
from his own hole. So ultimately, it's just not the best bet. Now, would Hyperion5 Hyferions know how to capitalize on this round though? Because from the way I'm reading the situation, they are mostly a top 4 setup, so you could maybe play around that. If most of the defense is upstairs, and you could just basically make it a 2v5 on site, and if they can do it, then it should be an easy round.
Buck is going to be an interesting pick, but he didn't bring the Harbeast charges. I haven't, you know what, whenever we've seen these operators, I've never seen them bring like the hard breach charges, like at least the ones that have them. The only one I've seen brought them is Zero, which is, well, not interesting to say the least. It's kind of expected because he has those cameras to clear utility. But the Buck is just going to push down main here, and I don't know if he's going to open. He can't open vertical angles under this side, but what he can do is open a vertical angle under the top of main stairs, and also he can support his Maverick getting this wall here. If somebody were to just walk in, just like that, they can just get lit up or down. But unfortunately, he doesn't catch anybody. Split is on a bit of a low HP. They don't have a Thunderbird or anything to boost it back up, so he's just gonna stay like that for the rest of the round. And it's a bit of a slow start from Hyferion5, to be honest. Nothing really happening on the attack, and it seems like they're slowing down, but not because they want to, but because they don't know how to exactly push into the site. Oh, okay. First kill comes out from Profit, and then another kill comes out from Stizzy, and now it's the 5v3.
Well, it's
What?
certainly not.
A bomb has been located.
Well, it's certainly not well, it's definitely now an unwinnable situation for Blue Jays. But of course, as you said that they don't have a plan, I definitely saw that they did have a plan. Now, Zarok does not seem to know where the plan is going down. He's scared to get sacked. He does actually get in, but he does not even win a gunfight against Tizzy! Huh? Okay, that was just... That actually had me speechless for a second there. The alibi had the kill. The alibi should have had the kill. I just did not understand how it did not go through. It's just unbelievable. Flawless round initially for Hyferion5. And the thing is that, well, initially it seemed like it could be difficult for them to attack on this side, especially without an ace to open up the side of office into library, but I definitely saw that what they were trying to go there. So first you have someone go up from the basement. The Maverick opens up a feed hole down into that little cellar, then the little closet. From there, you can deny that closet with the mirror window from the basement stairs. So you basically deny one of the strongholds on that site. So that's great. And then you have someone deny the cross through bar site. And then you have another player upstairs denying the hatch. If you can deny all 3 of those avenues, you basically have the plan. Which is exactly what they were going through. And by executing that, they got all the kills they needed. They didn't even need to go for any counters if the defense tried to fight back. They just killed them. So, first round, Hyferion. And Blue Jays have not switched up the site. So what do you think of that?
I mean, maybe they think they can defend it better than how they did it. It's the thing though, like Blue Jays didn't really have a lot of weaknesses around or in their site setup. It was just that they lost a lot of their gunfights. Unfortunately, they just surrendered a lot of positionings by dying, and it wasn't like Hyferion5 did anything spectacular to push them out of those positions. They just literally just died. That's literally it. That's kind of where my confusion comes in from that round. Hyperion5 really did not have an avenue anywhere near sight. They were moving extremely slow, and it's kind of surprising on a map like Chalet, but it's kind of weird that Blue Jays weren't able to stop them, considering the players that Blue Jays have and the potential that they can reach. But we move.
Being slow is not always the worst thing. I mean, if you're slow, then you can also be methodical. So while sure they took a bit of time to get into position, when they got into position, they got all of the kills they needed by executing it properly. So this is not exactly a bad thing. And now 1 minute left. Oh, not 1 minute. 1 minute has passed in this round, and they have established some control over the side office. They're not exactly where they need to go from the library. This time they're not going for that same push because they expect someone to be countering the basement. This grenade might come in, but not now, of course, because of all those denial utility to prevent the flames from being blown up. They will burn that shortly, and if they can, then they can deny the position. And they need every piece of utility they need right now to hold on to the site. So for now, things will get quiet down just for a second as everyone is trying to clear utility. That grenade goes in, does not get anything, so not exactly an improvement of an attack from Hyferion. Let's see if they can pull this one off.
You see the defender's not really giving any gunfights quite yet to Hyferion5. Can't give any gunfights, can't win them. I don't know the saying, I keep forgetting the saying. But, Cox is going to have a little bit of trouble shooting that drone, and he's going to finally get rid of it, removing the intel away from the attackers. And it's about 55 seconds left, and the first kill goes in the way of Hunter. It's a nice pick from him, grabbing what looked to be the Ayana, and he's going to grab a second onto Prophet this time. Now 45 seconds left for Hyferion5. Gecko's back a kill, but grabs just a quad on the round 2 in that one with like 3 bullets. I don't know how many bullets this gun has. And now it's left Hysense in a 1v5 or 1v4, but he's not going to be able to clutch it out because Hunter gets the ace. What a round from Hunter, what a hold. Hunter's insane. He's just able to win those gunfights and take out literally. The only thing that came down to was that, again, Hyferion5 kind of slowed down. And yes, it can come down to a methodical push, but it's the fact that like even Hyferion5 didn't know what their plan was, and they kind of stood still, stand still, and they didn't know where to go from there. Right.
Well, Hyferion definitely collapsed in that round because initially in the first round they had an actual plan of attack, which was great. Everything was set up for them. And the next round they tried to go like, okay, so they know how we attack. Now we got to think of something else. And they actually don't have a plan for that second time, so they just pretty much died in droves like that. All five of those kills were because they did not clear any utility. They did not clear out any defender positions. They just tried to go in, trying to take gunfights. But with all of the positions still as strong as they were, it only took the Roni of 16 rounds to kill all 5, which is like ridiculous considering how little ammo the gun has. He literally collateral killed 2 of them. It's like they lined up for him because they were desperate. Because what do you do when you don't have any control like that? When you can't play the utility game correctly. So round gone, 1-1. Now we're gonna go to the top 4, which is, well, so far pretty standard setup, I would say. Not exactly anything special. Of course, everyone always has that hole in the office, so you can hold the default piano. Everyone does that. You also have those pickles on the rotate, so at least you can stay somewhat in control from the other side. So if the attackers take office, then you can be full line of sight. It can also work against you if someone is on the rappel and they kill the person in piano, for example. But just it's a two-way street. Now we're gonna see how Hyferion will manage this one.
Looks like a full 5-man push from the west side. 4 of them are pushing this library side, where Gecko's gonna opt for well, just to play down below, probably get some grenades from below or catch a flanker off guard, because there appears to be someone actually in kitchen, and that Spliss is gonna be the flank covered by Gecko, and they do have these drones set up just to watch for that. He's gonna be by himself too, so if Spliss is killed, he won't have any trade value for him. So it's important that he not get too aggressive, but time his aggression right. He does have those walls reinforced, so he can't get like wall bang necessarily, even if they do drone him out. But you You can still throw a grenade. You know, I think if you break a little bit of that wall off, you get like the grenade off. But we also see the Maverick coming out from Stizzy here, and he's gonna try and open up some angles for his teams as well. Angles being opened up from both sides, but this time with the Maverick torch in hand. And a minute and 30 still on the clock, but they do have this mezzanine control. They do have this library control, and nobody from Blue Jays is really going to contest them. It looks like they're not going to take these gunfights way too soon because that's how they lost the last round last time, and they're just going to time their gunfights correctly.
The only thing that's stopping Hyferion from taking this side, of course, is that piano. So what they need to get done right now is to clear out that shield. It's just a must. Now, that is just the first order business. Oh, the nitro! Oh, bad timing there! But the grenade also goes in and actually kills the player! What an insane trade there. Two explosive flying at each other at the same time. And Ultim with a nice shot there with the ARX onto Hunter. Down he goes. That is the piano position denied. And now Stizzy can go for the plant, and he has to. He has all the time to do that. And in that position, he cannot get denied unless anyone else. BLUEJAY has a C4, but they're all dead, so they actually obviously don't. Now here comes the push from Spills. He's trying to find the default. He does not get it. He gives away position, and the diffuser goes down, and he's now put down to 20 HP. Stizzy cleans him up. Hyferion had a great plan in that round, and they pull it off. Just of course one unfortunate kill with the C4, but they recovered pretty nicely. So Hyferion again showing that very strong plan of attack and doing actually exactly what they're supposed to do. They are actually playing this game very, very near to perfection. It's very close to perfection. There's always flaws, but it's very close.
That time they didn't really take too much time taking control of really a lot of things. They took control of library pretty swiftly. They had somebody set up from below to watch those flanks like from Splizz. And Splizz, I don't know, maybe it was because he was nervous about somebody being able to cut him down so easily that he didn't probably try and go for a flank. But, you know, they had easy control of mezzanine, and then they were able to kill a player in piano. And they got easy control of piano, and then that in turn translates to an easy plant in office behind that little half wall. And that's what happened, right? You know, it's just a lot of control given up by Blue Jays at the end of the day because of the lack of manpower that they had. And it's not, you know, it's not weird to watch, especially on a map like Chalet. But hey, you know, they go to basement now. Basement isn't usually a site that you see in competitive play, but we're seeing it here. And I just want to know your thoughts on this, and maybe what could Blue Jays do to bring this round back for them.
They can probably capitalize on the fact that in Tier 1 no one plays the basement, so Hyferion will not have any point of reference to play this side on, so that's a starter. So in scrims, maybe Hyferion have played someone in the basement, so you cannot discount that fact. And so, with the strategy in mind, they can pull this one off. Now the issue with the basement is that it is actually very easy to deny every position in every spot. Actually, with the Maverick, I definitely would say that they need an ace if they want an extra bit of denial. So far, Hyferion have the right idea for now. They are going into Small Garage. They are gonna try to at least isolate the part of Trench first, and then opening up these walls. That wall you see on the left of that Finca, you can open up with a bunch of map holes. From there, you have lines of sight. You can deny position inside deep sight where the smoke is playing. With that position denied, you can cover the plant perfectly. There are only two angles you have to worry about from those map holes. So realistically, just should be a very simple task if Hyferion can get this one right. Now they are clearing utility pretty well, so it shouldn't be a problem. The Nomad's also going to be very helpful to prevent any kind of flank, which means so far Blue Jays are not going to be able to do exactly anything to counter what Hyferion are trying to do right now. Hyferion have this one under lock, I would say.
Yep. You see the positions. Well, they're setting up this plant or whatever this attack siege on site perfectly well. They're not trying to rush it. They're not trying to get any early picks for now. But you know, Splizz is gonna waste a smoke grenade onto this hole, and he's gonna face some pressures here soon because basically the whole of Hyferion5 are right here, and the only thing that's stopping them is this ADS, which is gonna burn out one grenade, but it's not gonna burn out the second, and it's gonna grab a kill on this Blizz. That's the smoke going out of sight. So now it looks like Wine is completely open. It looks like they can gear up for a plant here. I keep switching. Gear up for a plant here if Stacey is able to call this out for his team as he is the IGL. He's gonna throw another nade, not gonna catch anybody quite yet, and they only have 55 seconds left to go. He's not gonna catch the player right in that corner, but High Sense is, and that's critical dead. That player still persists in that corner. That's actually the mute of Coxey. He's still gonna persist right here in blue, and he's gonna be very important in stopping this plant that's gonna come in.
No!
Grabs a double. There's no way that happens. They knew he was there, and they're not able to clear him out. And now Hyferion5 are panicking. That's the fuser dropped by the hole, and it's actually in sight. So now Hunter grabs the kill, then Airrock, and now it's a 1v3. I did not think this was gonna happen. Drop shot from Hunter, and that's for him to cap off the round. I am a little bit disappointed in how that just ended there. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It looked prime and ready for Hyferion5 to be able to get the play off. They basically cleared out Wine. The only player that stopped him is a player from blue, peeking from the doorway onto a map hole that Dizzy made. There's no way.
That was just great idea. Utterly god awful execution. Just terrible. Awful siege. Don't do that. Do not do what they just did. And I'll tell you exactly how that went wrong. Instead of making just a horizontal line of sight with the Maverick so that the Finca could have held blue from inside of trench and just look at blue, and you can hold that, and the smoke would not have landed that shot. Sure, maybe he would have killed the Maverick, but he would not have killed the Finca, and the Finca could have killed him. So ultimately,
Attackers need to locate
you should have had that line of sight, but instead you just have this little two holes. So you have this nade hole, and then you have this little ouch hole in. But then you are just basically making yourself a sitting duck when you try to move in. Both of them tried to move in at the same time, and they got collateral. It was just awful. You cannot let yourself get shot like that. Like, there is a reason why Maverick was very strong. Maverick is very strong because he can make those lines of sight, and it's very hard to hit those lines of sight, especially with the SMG-11. The SMG-11 would have been the worst possible weapon to take that kind of fight against the Finca with a line of sight. It's just unthinkable. Yeah. And then they just all rushed in. They could have recovered from that, but then the Buck kind of stopped shooting when he got peeked by the Thunderbird, and then straight up lost them the round. 2v3. Cleanup, easy cleanup from the side of Blue Jays. It just... And that was the worst site on the map too. You cannot possibly have lost that. It's just unbelievable. I cannot put my head around this. It's just...
No, I get them all there. That kind of upset me a little bit with the way they kind of gave that up so easily. It was a 5v3, and they had control of Wine. If you have control of Wine, that's basically game over for the attack. And it's just, I don't know how they lost that, but they did, and it's unfortunate. You know, interestingly enough, we see the... Wow, okay, never mind. I was going to talk about how interesting this Legion pick is, because usually you don't see Legion a lot, but he gets a kill, and then it's immediately traded off by Prophet. Prophet is here to search out for this Legion that just killed his teammate, and if he just shoots literally through that wall, he can grab him. But no, he's not going to shoot him through the wall. He doesn't have the wall hacks that we do. And he's just going to sit there, and it's just an even man count for now. They're going to drown out the rest of Garage. I don't know where this Legion is. He's scaring me. He's all the way over here in Car Garage. So, Hyferion5 have not taken care of him quite yet. And they have a minute and 45 to do so. So, it's not like, oh, they have like 10 seconds left. But still, it's a bit... That just came out of nowhere. Just 2 kills out of nothing. And now it's another gunfight, this time coming out from Hunter. And he's actually on the mezzanine taking a gunfight on the library window. And he's probably going to grab a kill. What?
Smoke. Wait a minute, the Legion. The Legion just moved up. The Legion, look at the Legion. He's moved up. Oh. Prophets found him though. The Legion was going for that little flank, but the Buck heard him, and now the thing is, everything is collapsing for Blue Jays. The issue was that, oh, what a shot there from Prophet. He takes down Coxey, and now it's a 1v4. The Valkyrie, probably one of the worst weapons in the game. He has to now take 4 separate gunfights, and he might land all 4 headshots. It's going to be very difficult. he is locked out of sight. He has to wait till someone tries to make a move and at least make it a 1v3, or at least in this situation, he has to move up and try to make it a 1v3. Now his position is known. If he crosses this, he's in danger, but he survives it, and they know where he is. He has to try to get the buck. He misses those shots, and he's gonna get flashed. And now he is perfectly dead. They know where he is. They cannot possibly fluke this one. They're gonna have to double up on him, but they don't have to. Prophet gets quad kill as he pushes out with that C8. The gun is just better, and he takes that kill easily. And again, Hyferion just playing better Siege right now, especially. But ultimately, though, I would say that in that round, what collapsed there was BLUEJAYS. They had a very aggressive roam, and the smoke. I mean, I would not fault him because he was in a 2v4. He would have had to make an aggressive move. So it was just unfortunate that he lost a gunfight against the Buck. But in a 2v4, the first thing you want to do in that situation is to play bold, play brave, get one pick. If you get one pick, you can make the round winnable. Didn't happen though. Now we're gonna be on the last round of the first half. Hyferion are 3-2 up, so they are guaranteed to have an okay half because this map is still fairly attacker sided. So BLUEJAYS need one to make it a good one for themselves.
6 pick coming on to the post here, which is not interesting for this site because you know what is very prevalent about kitchen and dining is the vertical hold, or the vertical pressure that you do get from the attackers. So it's very easy to take control of this of the top floor, especially like on a site like kitchen. And post is just gonna be there to provide intel for his team and help them get nitro cell kills, not only for like the Valkyrie but also the mute as well as himself. And also have those ADS in support as well as the Aruni gates to burn out utility. Seems like a good set up from BLUEJAYS as of what their defense is going to be. Again, they have this Valkyrie right here where they're going to, right here, my bad, and on the second floor where they're going to be placing these cameras just for vertical control. And it just seems like a top-down hold coming out from BLUEJAYS, the average that you see on here. And it looks like the first person to take some heat is from a spawn peak, and that's Autumn. And he's going to be lit up by what looks to be critical on that Jaeger from Solarium.
Well, this is definitely a top-down hold, but also a bottom-up defense because you have the pulse. So the pulse, when he plays under that hatch, he can deny, I believe, the bomb plant behind, the bomb plant is on default, which should be behind that table, behind that bomb. And now, he's not actually playing in the basement, which begs a very curious question as to what they have in store. The window repel here does not even get the turret, and the Finka is trying to take several gunfights. He gets lit up just a bit. He can heal himself back up. So Gecko will be fine. For now, Xerox is not. He's taking a lot of damage, and they're all just scrambling just about now and trying to get something to happen. Critical is the first one to be felled as Prophet finds him. In this position, they have gotten 2 kills now. Gecko's grenade does get someone. I think the Iana's pushed up into Piano, and he's gotten the kill onto the Falcon, to the Urumi in office, and now it's a 4v2 as Spills tries to push back. That is but he needs to 4 more along with Xerox. And everything is going very badly now for BLUEJAYS. So it'll be a miracle if they actually win this round against Hyferion5.
With the support of these vertical angles, provided by the Buck with the skeleton key, he's actually going to probably catch a kill right here. He moves the player out of the position. Stizzy really should have gotten that kill as he rotated under the hatch right in front of his line of sight, and he's going to try and waste the nade onto the player, but the player escapes right in the nick of time. And actually, Spliz is literally on 15 HP or 20 HP. I'm not too sure. He's going to be one hit regardless, and it leaves both him and Xerox in a 4v2 situation. Oh, he could have grabbed the kill here, but I think that was just the clone, not the real person. Yep, it was just the clone, and they're going to look for an avenue to plant this site. Stizzy has been getting these plant downs really well, and Prophet is going to make that much, much easier for him. Next kill comes out from Spliz, though, as he grabs a nice headshot to Prophet, retaking these vertical angles that Prophet just set up on those Bucks, and it's now a 3v1. Stizzy's going to try and get the plant down, but Spliz is still going to persist. What? He's still going to get the kill as well. The vertical holes that Prophet literally made for his team, using his own holes against his own team. Diffuser has been recovered though, and it's going to be Autumn He's gonna try and play in a position where there are no
Can't
vertical
deny her.
holes.
5 seconds.
Yeah, he
Surely
can't
not.
deny it. No, he doesn't know. He doesn't know where it's at, and the plant's gonna go down regardless. I can't really. He's looking for another kill. He's looking for a desperate avenue to clutch this 1v2 out. He's gonna find one, but he's not gonna land a shot. And it's still. He has 30 seconds left. He literally has 30 seconds left before he runs out of time completely. But he's not gonna be able to clutch it. Oh,
No
against
way.
one bleeding. Kill onto Autumn. That's a nice headshot, and now he can probably defuse right here. But that's off the
This wall
sophomore right there.
soft.
Gonna screw him over. It's literally gonna screw him over. Since has to stop this now. Oh, he could have caught him off guard. Has 8 seconds left. Splits has to defuse here. He is gonna defuse. Is Sin serious?
No, no,
Sin,
no.
are you serious? Oh my god.
That would have been one for the ages. I cannot. I mean, ultimately, I didn't believe that round would have been winnable for him either way, because the Nomad just had the perfect position. And, I mean, I would have said, hey, defuse through the wall. You could go into kitchen and then make a hole and then defuse through that, and he would not have expected it. It would have been actually a genius play. If he actually did that, it would have been incredible. But because he did not think about defusing through the wall, he had to defuse in front of the soft, which basically meant it was unwinnable. The Nomad was sat in a position where he just simply could not be challenged. So while the Mute had 4 incredible kills, just utterly insane, it was just not possible for me.
Yeah.
And I would have just been.
It was a good try,
I
though.
said it would have been a miracle if they lost
Defenders
that
protect your
round.
bombs from being
If
defused by
Hyferion
attackers.
lost that round, yeah, it did really have to be a miracle because they did not lose that. So in the end, 4-2 half for Hyferion. So it's very good for them. Going to defense, they're gonna have to keep momentum if they want to, well, basically win this.
Not on the defensive side, and key to this map again. Defense is usually the one that has the hardest of times on this. That has the hardest of times on this map. With the statistics completely diverting from their way. I can't really speak right now. But anyways, interestingly enough, what we didn't see from the from Hyferion5, we see on the BLUEJAYS, we see an actual hard breacher. That's not to say Maverick's not a hard breacher, but we do see a thermite. We didn't see an ace or a thermite coming out from Hyferion5, even though both are very key operators to any type of push on Chalet. And we also see the Zero as well, and the IQ. IQ isn't necessarily played a lot in this league, or in any competitive part of Siege. First person to be down though is Gecko, and this Liz finally collects the kill. And that's an early man advantage for the side of BLUEJAYS. It looks like another player is trying to get aggressive here, and it's going to be Profit. He doesn't know exactly if the player on this reveal is high or low, but now he knows. Autumn's going to grab that kill, though, and it's going to be onto Swizz, and now that's the trade that they've won. Oh, God.
Hunter's got the 1 kill back against High Sense, looking at a 4v3, although at the cost of 80 of its own HP. So for now, very winnable situation for BLUEJAYS, but they need to at least get some utility down, because the issue is they don't have any more grenades. They at least might have the Gon 6 on 0, but that's probably not going to be enough, because they have not cracked this nutshell of the site yet. They're going to do something special for this one, because if Hyferion can maintain these positions and they are in perfect position to deny every possible defense, so it will have to be somewhat, well, conservative. Well, the thing is that they're not even up here though. The site isn't even there. So, well, BLUEJAY, they would have to get something going very, very soon.
Another kill comes out for critical though. Even with the lack of utility, they still manage to find these kills somehow. And left this team with a 4v1 advantage. They have more than enough time to work with this. You see that they seek out these Valkyrie cameras. They still have the IQ when play not anymore, because Pop is going to completely delete them, and then going to be immediately deleted by critical. And it's going to be... Oh, wow! That's a nice kill from Xerox. This round is just weird all over. They didn't really need a lot of their... They wasted a lot of their utility very early on, and they didn't need it at all to win that round. All they just needed to do was shoot heads, and that's what they did. It's crazy.
Attacker-sided map,
It's
I
crazy.
tell you. They're gonna pick up the
Attacker sided,
momentum.
bro.
So right now it's up to Hyferion5 to break the momentum. So they need to surprise Blue Jays. They by surprising them, I don't mean of course playing straight in their face, but by playing a site where Blue Jays probably won't expect to go, where the IQ would probably be useless, which means Valkyrie pickoff is great. That means now the IQ is literally useless. She does have the G8, but they don't play the G8. She has the breaching charges, but the buck can, or the sledge can do that vertical. So right now, IQ again, they are making it in terms of utility a 4v5, but of course in terms of gunfight, 5v should still be a 5v5. And so far, Blue Jays are the ones who are winning those 5v5 gunfights. So it really begs the question: how can they improve on this? Because the last time they didn't even die on the site, everyone died upstairs. They tried to retake constantly, they kept dying. No one fell back to the site because they knew that if they go back to the site, they will be locked off completely. Because if you have vertical control on the site, you have everything you need. So it's just a matter of which one of these teams can hold out more in the situation. And plus the mirror coming out should be very interesting. But again, if they take vertical control, then she's basically useless.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
It's just like you said. They, that's the one thing that Blue Jays didn't do on this round either when they had kitchen is that when it was as soon as the only player who did it was the last player alive, which was Blizz. But basically when the attackers gained this vertical control, a lot of them just kind of like backed off. Like, I mean, what can you do, right? When they have vertical control like that, they have all these positions on lock. They have these flanks on lock, and Sissy has this angle on lock. This is a really cool angle, and he's gonna be found out from it. He's not gonna grab a single kill, and the person who is gonna grab the kill though is gonna be pretty cool. He's going to grab. That's the mute player, Assassin Nitro, so go on for the defenders, and it's early man advantage again for Blue Jays. They have been winning lately. Well, in the past 2 rounds, they have been getting the first encounter and winning, getting the first blood. Basically, I can't word anything right now. It's kind of weird. You're gonna waste some utility don't.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
what the hell?
No.
What the hell?
No way. There is no way he actually died to his own thermite charge like that. That is comically just unfortunate. I wouldn't say bad because it happens to the best of us. And the run out is happening again. No, well, okay. It happened twice in a row. They jump out of trophy window and you don't try to counter that. Last time it happened and now you just forget about it, okay? Okay, just let them do the same thing twice in a row without punishment. I mean, he did die in the end, but getting 1 kill and getting traded is not exactly the best punishment he could have possibly managed. He could have gotten the kill, and the Frostmat jumped in. Blue Jays are kind of collapsing right now. They were going so well, and then everything's just falling apart. That Frostmat will probably not get converted, so they're going to be in 3v3, but Gecko's the one to push up, and he gets 1 kill. The Jaeger found Hunter, and now just the 2 attackers upstairs, and it's basically over unless Hyferion can throw really, really hard. Like right now, critical. If he got 1 kill on the Prophet, he's basically making it easy for them to make this toss. But please don't toss this round. It's just they're winnable with Hyferion, and I would not manage it if they. I mean, they have the HP advantage.
That's true. Oh yeah, Hyferion5. I was gonna say, Blue Jays have the operators to kind of pull this off. They have the 0, but with the amount of time that they have left, there's really not enough time to use the utility the way they want to. They do have these angles, these top-down angles to operate from. So maybe if one player is going to get played off, the other player can watch one above. But with the way that with the way that the Hyferion5 are positioned, there's no way you can really do that. You just have to go freeze gun fights, and they're not gonna win a single one. It's gonna be Autumn to grab both of these kills, and I tell you what, Autumn on this Frost on Chalet is he's good with this Frost on Chalet. But regardless, the thing that kind of made that round what it was, or what could have capped it off or explained it perfectly, was Cox getting literally killed by his own exothermic. I've seen that before. I've done it myself, but I haven't seen that in a while in competitive play. That's what confuses me. I just want to know how.
Well, if he goes back to watch the replay, he's gonna not gonna get any sleep. But we don't have to dwell on that. Of course, like I said, it's a mistake. It happens to the best of us. We're gonna move on to this next round. That
Defenders,
last round,
protect
though,
your bombs from
again,
being
like I said,
defused by attackers.
utterly simple to win in those positions. Now we're gonna be going to the basement, which means these positions are gonna be very, very hard to defend. Now, like I said, in the last time this site was played, you have only 2 angles you have to worry about, or maybe 2.5. 2 angles to deny. There are 2 ways the defenders can deny the plant, which means two ways they can push in, which means 2 ways you can cover. So it's not. It's
10
very
seconds
simple.
left.
The nomad being on the board would be very helpful, but they play 0 instead, so the fight can
5
happen.
seconds remaining.
Someone should be on the cams if the fight does happen. But the thing is that
Objective
what
is to locate a bomb
what a
and
lot of tier 4 teams commit as a big mistake is that when all 5 members are alive, no one is watching cam. It happens so often. If I see a 0 being played, I'm like, yeah, he's a flank watch. But then I see all 5 players alive, and I'm like, yeah, no one's gonna be flank watching this 100%. And usually I'm right, they don't watch. Now, the big garage push, of course, is a great idea. This is how it should be. They would push into big garage again, like I said in the last time. Take trench side, open up that wall. They have the thermite, and then with those angles, they can go in for the plant. And without the Maverick, they don't have to crouch in and get collateral like Hyferion did, so should be fine. Coxie, they only have to find this mute jammer now, but the thing is that the mute jammer will have to be placed in a spot where it can easily be wallbanged, so nothing can possibly go wrong. Blue Jays in terms of getting the wall open and getting the utility.
Bomb
You
located
see
by
this
attackers.
visual persist in this room, as well as another player in support. Well, not support, but it's just Profit on the very, very top, and they're gonna be able to get this wall open. If they're not gonna clear this visual out, I think their push is gonna be a lot. It's not even that I think they have the hatch control, and if they're just gonna push through that wall that's on the trench side, to wine, it's gonna make their push a lot harder because Gecko has an angle right where that hole is. But first kill goes in the way of Blue Jays. They get a kill, and then a second, but Gecko trades it back, making it a 4v3. Making it a little bit closer for his team, so they don't get completely stopped in this round. And it's Spliz to try and counter this rotate from Gecko, who still persists in Dining Room Kitchen. They're not going to clear him out quite yet. He's not going to just jump in like the crackhead. And Gecko still has control of this hatch. Not Spliz, but Cox, or whatever, is going to be wary of that because he now knows that when his team died there, his teammate just died there, that there is a player above them on this hatch. So it's Gecko who's going to be the real game changer there. Autumn's going to get down at the site, so they now, really, the site is open for them. They just have to be wary about this lane coming in from Gecko. And he's going to, he's not going to win it. He's seen that gunfight at all against Blizz, and now it's the 4v1. The last person alive is Hyson, and the user's already down, and he's in a 4v1 situation. There's no way he wins this out unless Blue Jays just full send and just give him his ones. That's literally it.
Oh,
Gave him his ones, and he's gonna lose it.
they gave
There you
him
go.
his first one, and he loses it immediately. What can you say about that?
I don't know. I mean, critical is just insane. There you go. I can say that. It's true.
I nearly
We just saw
weighed that round in favor of Hyferion5 because Blue Jays did not respect that hatch. Now, I said that there were only 2 angles they have to worry about, but Hyferion opened up that hatch to play around it, which is a very powerful position because you can deny the run-in. So, if the defenders in blue and in the wine cellar spot are still alive, then that hatch incredibly strong, and you have to respect it. And in the end, they did manage to kill the vigil, but if they didn't, then he could have just kept going and kept causing more damage. But the issue is that once you've already killed blue player, then you can just plant somewhere else that's just not under the hatch where the vigil cannot possibly watch
Attackers
you.
need to locate and
So
defuse bombs.
ultimately, that is why once again that side is just awful. You should just not play that side in comp because everyone actually knows what they're doing. In ranked, well, no one knows what they're doing. So you see every time, you see it played all the time. Everyone picks the basement side. I'm still not sure why. I think it's because it used to be the best side on this map, so everyone picked it. But right now it's just the worst. but also they're mostly safe with the fact that no one knows how to attack in ranked. So again, we're fine. But this is not ranked, this is comp, and in this comp scene right now, no one seems to be noticing that drone from critical on top of that plant, which is going to be a big issue. Because once they push in for utility, and no one knows that they're being watched, then they're in for a lot of hell.
Interestingly enough, I'm seeing this setup right here, and usually when you see it set up like this, it's usually the wall reinforced on the left side, and you have the wall on the right side punched. So it's interesting to see it this way because I guess you have more visibility on the window. But first kill comes out from Autumn. He grabs Hunter, and it's just a flurry of kills now. It's not wow critical on these main stairs. It's just a bunch of kills coming out from Blue Jays. Now with 4v1, this round barely has barely had any chance to breathe. As I'm barely having a chance to freaking breathe. Not Hunter. Hyson is just gonna be on these west stairs, and he's gonna be stopped by critical. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be stopped by critical. Critical is literally right there. He could catch this, and he does. He does catch the player, and he does round 15. I literally almost panicked because he walked over there. I knew they were gonna lose, but he walked over there, and then he walked all the way back, and walked all the way back over there, and then he kind of like looked away for a bit. It was weird. I don't know. That was a weird round to look
It
at.
didn't matter because in the end, Hisense could not possibly win that round. That round was
he
over
didn't.
as soon as Critical got like those 3 kills. Blue
That's
Jays
true.
are just playing. They're not even playing utility. They're just going in and killing everyone on Hyferion, and Hyferion are just not playing on site. Now, obviously, the setup demands, or mostly demands, that you play upstairs because once they take vertical control, it's over. You cannot play on the site. So, in that situation, it still leaves the site fairly vulnerable. You only have 1 or 2 people on the site, so when they try to retake these, got walked straight into the line of fire of Blue Jays. Now they're going to be going. Well, they're staying here. They're going to go to bar gaming, but they would have to switch up the strategy and at least win a few more of these gunfights. Because as soon as they happened, I did not manage to see many of them at all. I only saw 1 gunfight, which was the smoke jumping down and getting killed straight after that. Every other thing happened. I'm seeing it. I can't.
It was really quick.
It was really quick, of course. So, I cannot see how it happened. So I would just equate it to Blue Jays going in and killing it. The default strategy of Siege, the one strategy that everyone can play, just kill everyone in the team.
Yeah, it was a bit of a quick round. I was literally harping on the Hyferion5 setup because again I didn't see that setup. I haven't seen the setup used like that before, where they put the holes on the left side instead of the right side, because you have more visibility on the library window, the big window that's on the west side. And then I just didn't even get a word out before everything started to happen. It's just a lot of kills going Blue Jays' ways, and it's not. You're right. It wasn't them really using utility. It was just them running in and killing people, and it's kind of like, if that's what we're gonna get on LA, it's going to be interesting what we get on coastline. But we're not on coastline yet. We're still on this map, and potentially both of one of these teams has to move on to match point at some time, and it's in this round, unfortunately, that we're going to see either team. Both of them can't be on match point, so one of them has to move on eventually. And it seems to be a north side take, a master bedroom take, plus a mezzanine take coming in from Blue Jays. You see the 0 on Kennel's Balk, as well as a player in office, and then a player on this library hallway window. But first kill comes out from Stizzy, and where did you get that kill from? Oh, did you just like throw it up from one of the holes?
No, I believe he killed the player in inside of office. Should be an office, yes. A few holes there.
Oh. Okay, I got it.
He was in kitchen previously, and then someone died. And now 4v5, and the verticality is now lost from the side of Blue Jays. They have the IQ, sure, but it's very slow and cannot possibly play vertically if everyone's still alive. Hunter, it's difficult for Hyferion as he gets 1 kill. So far, things going very slow for Blue Jays. They have not opened up anything. They have not cleared anything, and they only killed one person. But one person makes it a 4v4. Not enough. Now, just curious as to what their game plan is because everything is not. They don't have any utility left except for one grenade, I believe, and a few things. But they can't hunter will now die, allowing critical to jump in. But Prophet gets a nice double, and now it's looking all Hyferion. Tech is point. Be very devastating for BLUEJAYS because they are trying to mount this comeback, but it's only a 2v4, but he does not notice the Jaeger pushing up. Oh, the smoke pushing up. Be very, very bad. Also, two of them pushing up, but they don't want to feed that termite the 2 kills. Go back. Just a sensible, logical play. And it's just gonna keep draining all
15
the
seconds left.
BLUEJAYS. They wouldn't have to make a desperate play, but it's just not
10
possible.
seconds
There's
to
so
go.
many angles to watch. There's so many avenues. Hyferion5 actually dies, but Prophet get a triple kill on that round, and Autumn clean it up. So, match point for Hyferion5.
I want to talk about what that smoke did when he got those 2 kills. If you didn't see it initially, he critical was on Candle's big window, looking over to mezzanine, and what Prophet literally did was just jump over mezzanine belt right in front of critical, and he was able to get the drop onto Hunter, and then he was able to turn around and get critical on that big window. When he jumped down into fireplace and was able to look up and dome critical on that. And that was kind of the turning point of the round for me because he's able to get not only one but 2 important picks. He got the IQ and he got the 0 as well, and that removes some huge utility coming out from the attackers. Whatever, I think she has breaching charges or claymores. She has a gun, whatever the case may be. Hunt's just potent thing, but critical with those hard breach gadgets and also his 0 cameras being able to burn out utility. It's a little bit weird because critical was literally he was right there, and he kind of like just watched Prophet jump
Attackers have located a
over
bomb.
that, and it was like he just missed him at like the nick of time, and that was the turning point of the round for me, really. Even though like BLUEJAYS weren't really getting much control, that kind of confirmed they weren't going to win that round at all because it left their teammates in the 2v4 or whatever. But that was kind of odd to watch.
Whatever that round may be, now is the time for BLUEJAYS to
10
make a
seconds
ball.
left.
Last time they were on this site, last time Hyferion were on this site, they won even in 2v2 pretty decisively, which means so far BLUEJAYS, their strategical idea of attacking this site is not sound. It is pretty bad. They have to, rush, for example, is a bold play. And I'm just saying bold play in general. Then they need to be more confident taking these gunfights. They know that if they don't win now, then they basically have forfeited one map win. They have one more map to play, but they would like to win this map, please. So for now, they're not gonna try any that rush that yet. I'm sure that the defense Hyferion will be very well equipped to deny that rush. So they're gonna at least have to make a lot quicker movements. Get into the building, getting rid of the utility faster. Because the more they delay, the more they give more leeway to Hyferion. That smoke is just denying so much, wasting so much energy on the side of BLUEJAYS, and wasting so much of my energy because I just kind of even either way, his shield and the other shield inside the piano is not good news, and no one's gonna clear it out. So everything is going bad for BLUEJAYS. I'm gonna give them like 30 more seconds before this round is irrevocably unwinnable for them.
From the side of Prophet, you don't usually see smokes not waste, but use burn their smoke grenades so quickly. But the first pick comes out from the side of BLUEJAYS. You gave them 30 seconds, they gave you 20, and they were able to pick off a player in that time, and that's actually the mute gone. And that's the last of Prophet smoke, so he's not going to be able to use any of these smokes to waste time. Again, like I said, you don't usually see smokes use their utility that early on to stop a push like that. And it would have worked if BLUEJAYS played the way they did in those earlier rounds, but it seems to be a much different BLUEJAYS. Prophet is on a little bit of HP, and BLUEJAYS have this this control, but I don't. Actually, I take that back. They're looking like the same Blue Jays that lost the first few rounds, but there is Zera getting a nice pick onto Profit. Autumn trading that back, bringing it back for his team. Not only a 4v3, but still any advantage of Blue Jays as they have 45 seconds left. They have these vertical angles that they can create with the sledgehammer, but they only have 35 seconds left. Now that's a nitro so wasted, and they have a chance to really make a plant on the site. They have these windows open, and well, Cox is waiting for the call to plant, but he only has 25 seconds left. So that call has to come in very soon from his teammates. They don't know about Autumn right here, though. They should. They have a player in critical down below. He has to put this very soon. If I swear, if Cox literally just runs in there and dies to this process, now with 3v, now with 3v1 is Gecko grabs a kill though, and he's able to take out critical in the process. But in this process, the plant is actually going down. The plant is going down now. He has to rush, and he's not going to rush in the nick of time. He thought he had the round for himself, but unfortunately for him, the plant just goes down, and Hunter's able to get away. Now he's moved into this hallway, looking the wrong way, and that's Hunter's. That's a free kill for Hunter. I mean, I don't know what happened to Hyferion5 on that defensive hold. If you could explain that to me in a way that I can understand it, I don't know what to tell you, because like the thing about that hold is that it looked good at first. Not Hyferion5, but Blue Jays didn't really have a lot of control. Well, they did, but they weren't really taking advantage of it until like the last few seconds, and Hyferion5 just seemed to collapse. And that was I say it's a bit. I'm saying it's a bit odd a lot of the times, but it is a bit weird. I don't know how to explain that round.
I definitely cannot like help you specifically, but I would try to at least attribute that win to the fact that, well, they won a lot of their gunfights and they were in good position to deny. So of course the Frost got that kill initially, but they had the zero push up from the basement. So again, they were aware of these defender positions and they were perfectly capable of countering it, which they did. So while Hyferion5 had several good ideas, they did not be aware of everything else happening to them. So of course that round is now gone. We're now 6-6 overtime, and we're just on map 1, so we got one more map to go. Either way, for now we'll see who comes out victorious on top of this one. Now the thing is that there's no definitive winner in terms of being attack or defender sided. So, well, like for example, you play a game of ranked and then you get destroyed on defense, and then you destroy them on attack, and then you get attacked, and you're like, oh my god, yes, now we can destroy them. Then they win the first round of defense. That's usually how it basically trends. Whoever gets destroyed in regulation on a side will win that first round in overtime on that side. That is just how siege law works. So, if it's anything to go by, we definitely cannot gauge who will win this round. But I do expect we're going to be going straight to 15. That's C4 again in kitchen. How do you not learn from that? There was a kill into office last time, and again in the same defense. Last time someone was in office and he died to that C4, or rather somewhere else. Sure. Where? I don't know. I believe it was somewhere in kitchen up to the top 4. There's no other possible way he could have got that kill. But I suspect he did the exact same thing again. And BLUEJAYS are not watching. I don't know.
I have nobody to counter that at all in kitchen, and it's gonna pay in the form of the sledge. I argue is a very important operator. He has the breaching hammer. He can get rid of cameras with that breaching hammer, but nobody's on this side is playing whatever, like a maestro. But you know, he also does have frag grenades as well, which can be used to confirm kills. Speaking of confirming kills, Hunter's actually gonna grab a kill onto. Oh my god, he grabs a double kill onto Profit and Stizzy. That was the player who got the first pick in the first round, but he's gonna get immediately traded out by Sins. He has his crosshairs just a little bit too high, and the casing on his sight is just gonna block his view just a little bit. But that's actually vertical control given to the side of BLUEJAYS. You know, they have the Zero right here pushing into pushing into library here on this big window, and they also have Cox right here. I thought, you know what? I thought Sins was literally on those stairs, on west stairs, but he's gonna be here in Mudroom, and he's gonna have a player literally spraying at his window. But Gecko's actually gonna be the first player to get a pick here against Splits, and it's now a 3v2 for this side of Hyferion5. This hold looks good from them. There's not really a lot Blue Jays can do. You know, they have these hatches that they can get, but they're electrified, and there's no way that the Zero can like deny the electrification with this stuff unless he wants his things to get destroyed. And there's a player actually, wow, he's gonna grab that kill onto Gecko as he literally gets pinged out in the nick of time. And he knows there's a player in Mudroom and Sins. And now it's 2v1. Okay. He knew, I mean, they knew that he was there. Did they? I think they did. No. That was weird.
7-6.
Because like, wait. He was literally camped in Mudroom for like the longest, and they shot that window, but they didn't really pay much attention to it. I don't think he shot back to give away his position, but it's kind of. I don't really know what to make of that round because it was odd.
The mudroom position was completely irrelevant. No one's gonna push anyway. He could have blown down.
That's
so
true.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And there was probably a frost mat there too, so the attackers would have been aware of that, and they would not have jumped in either way. So the take would have had to come in from the windows and the staircase. And the issue was that in that situation, everyone on Blue Jays played super isolated. They did not try to push together. That Ayana was killed basically alone. There was no refrag attempt. So when they got desperate in that 3v3, they just kind of went with it, and they got punched for it, obviously, because you cannot make these in a situation like a 3v3. You cannot possibly make solo plays like that, because then you just doom your team to a 2v3. Especially even if you're still alive, you're dooming them to a 2v3 on a different side of the map. So just a lot of pressure coming down onto Blue Jays, and that might just cost them that round, I would say. But of course, there's still a chance to win. There's 2 more rounds to go. It'd be pretty heartbreaking if they get to 7 rounds now and then they lose. Blue Jays lose this map. And they did try to mount a very impressive comeback, so it's not like they are sleeping or anything. On this map though, so far, Prophet, Autumn with 12 kills each. They're showing up real well for their team. On the side of Blue Jays, Hunter and Critical 15 and 10 kills is very. It's basically a game of essentially 2v2, I'd say right now, in terms of the highest top fraggers. 2v2. But they need more than just 2 players to get this win. So even if your 2 players are not. Oh my god, what a shot from Hunter though! What a wallbang! That was incredible game sense though. He saw that drone. In the drone, he knew someone would be coming to pick up that kill. The Prophet with that on that buck, he was the perfect player to do that. He would have come through and opened up that wall with the skeleton key. He knew that had to happen, and he pre-fired and he got the kill. So Hunter showing some very impressive life here for Blue Jays, and now it's a 4v5. Your buck is now gone too. That is your verticality gone. It's just gonna be so difficult now for Hyferion. We're gonna go to 15 rounds, I will say, immediately. We're gonna go 15.
This game was spicy. Yeah, I mean, he took out a good player in Prophet, and Prophet has been very. I have to say, I've been very impressed with Prophet's buck play this matchup, but he's not gonna be able to impress me any further, as that's the last time he's gonna be able to use buck. And it's a very early disadvantage for Hyferion5, and you see them kind of like slow down a little bit. You know, they do have this avenue into garage, but nobody's there in garage anymore. Or well, no, Sissy's not even in garage. It's just only Gecko. But the player who seems to have woken up is Sins. He's gonna grab a kill this time onto Xerox, and that's the Jaeger gone. And now, I mean, what can Hyferion5 do here to really gain an avenue onto site? They don't really have a lot of control on the top floor or even around the site. You know, they have Stizzy on these stairs. You could get an angle going here, maybe have somebody watch the angle for any type of rotates. That's actually going to be Gecko, but he's going to be lit up in the process of trying to watch it. There's not a lot that they're doing to convince me that they're going to get a plant off into site. It'll be a huge throw from Blue Jays if this ends up being a plant and a win from Hyferion5. Hyferion5 Five only have 40 seconds up. All Blue Jays have to do is just hold their positions, hold these vertical positions that they do have, and be able to deny the plant coming off. But Critical's gonna do a brazen swing. I mean, he has. I guess he has to because it's gonna get pressure from everywhere, and he's gonna grab. He's gonna get down and out for it. It took a long time to confirm that kill for you guys, and it's going to be a player from above that's gonna get Gecko in trouble. Steedy's gonna be down in the process. I think a player from above is the one that caused. Yep, and then he got finger healed. Oh god, what is this? What? What's going on? It's 2v2, and it's just. Oh yeah, I literally like. There's no way they lose that round. There's no way they lose that round because they had the vertical positions and Hyferion5. All they can do is really just jump into sight and plant. And if you have those vertical positions held above you like that, you're not going to be able to get the plant off. It doesn't matter if you have sight control. If the defenders have all the vertical angles against you, there's no way in hell you get those plant. There's no way in hell you get that plant off. And they didn't. So I mean, I don't. It's a bit weird. See, well, not a bit weird, but these attacks have been not what I'm used to seeing on Chalet, where like I don't know, they're not as like coordinated or as aggressive as I would like them to be, or as I'm used to seeing on Chalet.
I mean, what really doomed them in that round was a little microscopic errors. So there are definitely ways they could have won that round for sure. For starters, flashing off that player playing on the hatch, so you can easily do that from not those. Really fun that. So they had to try to make a desperate play to jump in, which they did. They expected Malusi to still be denied plant, but in hindsight they could have waited until the plant was going down and then jumped in. And then they knew that Malusi would be trying to deny the plant. So just bad timing overall. There were a lot of definitely. If the Malusi got air jump from just half a second earlier, he would have been killed there. But he managed to get a headshot because the MP5, even though it's P shooter, it does go pretty fast, and so it didn't kill the player. Now they're gonna be going to kitchen though. Hyferion this site. Last time they were here, I believe they won once and then lost the second time, I think. So it's just a 50-50 right? Who knows who's gonna round anything. But Blue Jays, of course, on the attack, they have shown themselves to be fairly weak at times, but also at times they can show up in terms of they're not exactly a strategic team, 100% strategic team. A lot of rounds they won off guns. So if they can make something happen right now, it's just dragging, they can definitely. Which is happening yet. 1 minute into the round. Everything's quiet. Yeah. But as I say that, Prophet go on a jump out onto Hunter. That is the death blow there onto Blue Jays. All of this comeback, how they are in 5v, very desperate. Everything now depends on Blue Jays making confident, adamant. They need every single just every gunfight has to be a win. Just no chance. Because so far they don't get any control on the side. Critical actually get into play, but can you really do anything if there are still players inside of Solarium?
Yes, 2 players in Solarium, and they have the support of the ADSs, and well, what was a shield, but now has been destroyed by the Gon 6 of the Ayana. Oh, that should have really been a headshot on the split, but not really. He's not gonna get it. He's not gonna get anything. And Prophet is left the worst out of condition, but he's still gonna grab a kill. It's a critical of 5v3. This looks like it's gonna go Hyperion's way, and it looks like they're gonna take this map. But Blue Jays, they have 3 players on their side to really, well, maybe bring this back a little bit. Maybe take the map themselves, but I don't really know. They don't really have a lot of utility to do with this. They have the sledge above. They have these vertical angles. But what use is that with limited man count? They're not able to capitalize this if they don't have full control of Solarium, nor do they have full control of the whole of this top 4 that they're holding. Since it's still persisting though on the solarium stairs. Maybe but
Wait a
a
minute.
plant's going down?
Really not?
But a
No?
plant is going down?
Oh,
Oh
never
Lord,
mind.
okay. No, Autumn's going to be able to grab that kill and deny the diffuser. Now it's a 4v2. That was a little bit scary for Hyferion5. If he was able to get that plant down and Zerakot had these vertical holes,
15 seconds to
that
go.
could have been
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
dangerous for Hyferion5. Oh God, and that's 2 kills they got from Gecko. Is they made the decision to run in deep, but unfortunately for them, it's not going to work out. So pretty fine.
They literally lined up for him, that's for sure. And that last situation, they rushed into that little wall, and then the other player rushed through the door. They unironically lined up for him twice. I think it's been in that position inside of West Main, East. Sure, I don't. On the main staircase, so from that position, he could deny the kitchen door run in, and he also denied the half wall, which he did. So when it came down to Blue Jays to make that rush play, it just did not work out. Now the other issue is that if Blue Jays got the wall inside of office open, then they could have denied those vertical holes from above just from the staircase alone. So it would have definitely been possible, but in the end, unfortunate situation for them. 3v5, losing 2 players to profit like that is definitely not the play. Just running in like that, fighting against the SMG11, not the best idea. So, first map goes to Hyferion, making it 1-0, and they could either get the 2-0 or 1-1. Well, I mean, Blue Jays can get the tie 1v1. For this week, that is their best chance. Get a tie, but not a win. So, we'll see how the next map progresses.
A bit unfortunate, but we move. We're going on to Coastline X, and if Chalet plays out like that, I'm excited to see what Coastline looks like. But I mean, well, we'll see. We'll have a break coming up. It'll be about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back with Coastline.
Welcome back. We're gonna be heading now to Coastline, everyone. Now, just a quick recap, in case you somehow just came in and missed that last game. Hyferion5 187, which is pretty heartbreaking for Blue Jays because they were down 5-3 and were mounting a comeback when everything just went wrong. So let's see how Coastline will progress. This map, of course, I have not seen played in ages. So going into it, the bans definitely something not to be expected. But I do think it will be a Thatcher ban because everyone just banned Thatcher. But just surprised me for once, these teams. Now, of course, it's a Thatcher ban. Of course, it's a what do I why do I expect anything else? Why do I even like give myself
It's kind of
a bit
funny.
of hope?
Oh my god, it's kind of funny because Thatcher isn't really. I would say he's really not that useful on Coastline, as would be a Habana. But we get a Dokkaebi ban instead, and this time it comes out from Hyferion5. Um, I'm not too. Maybe they've watched VODs, but I don't think Blue Jays have played Dokkaebi, or put Dokkaebi in their lineup on a Coastline match in a while, or that I've seen at least. Because I haven't. I've watched them play Coastline before, and they've never brought out a Dokkaebi, so I'm not too sure about that. Valkyrie band does come out though.
Well, of course, the Valkyrie band is also pretty standard. She's very strong. Her recent nerf will get delayed until about February next year if you have not read the patch notes. So she's still gonna go unnerfed, untouched, unfortunately. Awful situation, I'd say. But for now, well, my band also very, very good. I'd say because it's like the last map. The Jaeger, it's like the Jaeger ban. It's like if you would ban Jaeger, but now you force them to. Well, I'm just not sure. Okay. I need a second to think about this for a second. Okay, Wamai is pretty good. He could replace Jaeger in a lot of situations, but he has to sit down and place him manually. So getting rid of him basically forces you to play Jaeger and Aruni, which is the default setup, which means Blue Jays have now more room to will now have more room to move, but less utility denial. So ultimately, it is good for Hyferion5, and because they're playing these operators with a lot of throwables. Everyone on the side of Hyperion has something to throw, may it be a flash grenade or a smoke or a grenade or even a gun 6. Now the thermite is obviously going to get picked off because he's not very useful on his map at all, and I mean like 0%. There's nowhere for him to play except for perhaps on if you play Penthouse Theater now, which is slowly becoming a meta site. If you play in Penthouse Theater, you need the wall closed, but you have the Mavericks who can trick that wall. So ultimately, Thermite is completely, utterly useless on this map. I'd say. So, going first to Hookah Lounge, the default side, it's a very curious shield. I'm just not sure what they're planning there. But if anything is to go by, they will not be playing behind that shield. They'll be playing inside of Hookah, behind that shield. But then they will be exposed to the window. So it's a very curious setup. How would you like play around this? Honestly,
Especially with
there is a
that big
2x on the
window.
side of critical on the alibi shotgun, so they can hold these long angles. But can you even really do more? Because realistically, what are you playing around that shield? They're just making controls. But what can you get out of that shield? Prophet's gonna be the first one to get killed. That might have been an unfortunate crossing from Ikoxy, or he was simply spawn peeking because he now sets NS. So if it was a nice shot, then he could not possibly wallbang. He'd be holding. Either way, 4v5 so early on, Coxy he gambles and he pays the price. So Blue Jays will now have to do again. We will now have to go for aggressive plays, bold, confident.
You see them now moving into VIP, uh, and also bathroom. You see Prophet just droning this out for himself. There's not gonna be any like pressure coming in from Blue Jays, when it comes to, uh, sorry, not Blue Jays, but coming, No, coming. Oh my God, there's no pressure coming from Blue Jays. I'm like, I keep forgetting that they're like switch. It's weirding me out, stripping me out a little bit. But from from Blue Jays on this Hyferion 5 attack is they do take control of bathroom, bedroom. Oh well, you know what? There's your pressure. It's Hunter getting a kill onto the Buck of Profit, and it's now an even man count. They have this control of VIP, they have this control of bedroom, and they have basically control of this whole like penthouse hallway. Now I'm thinking they're probably gonna gain control of luggage, but then there's another kill coming out from critical this time with that shotgun that not the T is it the T? No, it's not the TCSG. I can't remember what that shotgun's
ACS.
called. Yeah, ACS 12, and now it's a 4v3. What looked to be very promising for Hyferion5 has certainly crumbled for them, but the the sledge brings it back this time. Now a 3v3 as the player in blue is now deleted, and they have firm control of what looks to be luggage, and now they're probably going to take control of Aqua as they look to probably go for this plant behind the bomb chastity, and that's where the shield comes into play. It's probably going to look to deny this plant right here, but you also have the alibi down below ready to shoot from beneath this default plant spot. It's going to be interesting to say the least, but they only have 25 seconds left to go, so they have to full send eventually. And they have Autumn here on this big window to set himself up. They're going to burn utility, and they're going to look to burn this. Well, they can't burn. They cannot burn it. They can't burn the shield, and they're just going to be burned out by these smokes. Fizzy's still going to go for the plant regardless. Autumn's going to be taken out elsewhere, and now it's going to be Hunter grabbing a two-piece. That's a double. I think that's a triple kill on the round for Hunter. It's a bit of a tame round. There's not a lot to, well, there's a lot I could say, but it would come off as a little bit rude because it started off well for Hyferion5, and then ultimately they just got picked off elsewhere, and they didn't really play that like a team. It was just a lot of them peeking at angles that they probably shouldn't have peeked, and they got picked off for it and punished. And that was a good round coming in from Blue Jays. First defense looked pretty strong for them, looked very convincing, and that shield, I mean, we questioned it. It wasn't really the main issue that lost Hyferion5 the round anyways. I would argue that it wasn't even pivotal to how that round ended. But we're going to kitchen service this time, and the post has been six picked off onto the mirror this time.
I mean, you would naturally do that, of course, because the Mira is pretty strong on this site. I mean, I think with the update, she can be played on. She used to be. Yeah, before this, you only could play her inside a penthouse for kitchen defense, or on kitchen itself. But you cannot play her in hookah. You could not play her. Oh, there's also blue bar, of course. So there are definitely a lot of spots where she could be played on this map, especially now. So she's very strong indeed. Great pick from them. And that shouldn't deny the service entrance. But the issue is that now the plant spot in the service entrance is gone. You cannot plant in service. So the default plant is just a bit of a mystery right now, honestly, because I honestly don't know where anyone else will plant in service, which means the site now moves over to the side of kitchen, where they are trying to plant on the kitchen window, which means taking blue bar control, which means taking that west side control. And the Mira, well, she doesn't have anything facing that direction, so it should be fairly simple to counter for the time being. And if they go for vertical plays, and it's also not a problem. So everything has been set up now for Blue Jays. Hyferion5 last round, they got first opening kill, but then they immediately fumbled and collapsed. So something else has to happen now. Of course, we have not seen them play the site yet, but they will. Well, once we see them play, and if they lose the round, then of course something has to change. Quick push in now from the side of Hyferion5, taking Aquarium and Billiards, and now allowing them to push up to the VIP hallway. But there's no one on the side of Blue Jays there, so which is not exactly the best value you get out of that. Now they're gonna switch over to office, knowing that the top floor is basically clear on that side, but they're not leaving any fight drones there. So the question is, if someone from Blue Jays can push up to luggage, that's gonna be a problem of whoever is playing on the side of Cool Vibes or Hookah.
Yeah, I mean, you also gotta be wary of the hatch. I think they did open the hatch up in the office. I can go check right quick. Let me see. Yep, they opened that hatch, so if a player were to rotate through Aqua, they have that hatch open to be able to watch people rotate uh, just below that hatch so that they can catch an easy kill. Um, but it's really, this is, there's really no pressure coming out from Hyferion5. They got this offense control, yes, and it looks like they're going to get security control. But other than that, they're just kind of setting up positions around the site. They haven't really set up how they want to attack the site quite yet. They're just setting themselves around a site. There's not a lot going on for them. They don't have vertical control, like, you know, what the Buck could be used for. They don't have anything that the Maverick could even be used for. And it's
no.
interesting that Hyferion5 are going to bring it. It's a swing coming out from what looked to be the smoke of Hunter, but he's going to get naded out by Stizzy. And it's about to be 40 seconds of critical grabbing a critical trade onto Stizzy this time. That's the Maverick now gone, so no more frag grenades. If he had one more, and now Profit is going to grab a kill onto Coxie. It's just trade after trade after trade from both of these teams, taking out one another, and it's just going to be them prepping their throwables, you know, throwing them to sight, probably disorienting the enemy, just so Autumn can get this quick plant down, and he's actually going to start planting. There's no denial, and it's going to be, the denial comes from in the way of one player that's a nitro cell, but Autumn actually did just get killed off the plant. That's the Fuser surrendered onto site, and the only one left in this situation, in the 1v2, is Xerox. He's going to probably catch a player off guard, but he's going to look the wrong way for quite a bit. There's no way he gets this plant off. He's going to let him get the plant off, and he's able to clutch it out. That was 2v1. They got the plant off. Why is he looking at the icon like that? He's going to defuse it anyways. And I mean, I don't really, there wasn't, you know what, I want to talk about that round just a little bit. I want to get your opinion first before I, like, say anything else.
The sledge overextended. He had no business just pushing up next to the rotate like that. He could have held it behind the bomb chassis. He could have held the doorway. If he heard the call from his teammate that someone is pushing out to the rotate, and he could swing that. But he had to push himself up the rotate like that. He had to make sure that he could get swung from two directions. So he did not know where to react. So when the swing came out from the mirror, he basically gave himself away. So once the sledge was down, that was basically the end of the round there for Hyferion. I said there was no denial, but then of course Hunter managed to, I think it was Hunter, right? Yeah, Hunter got the C4 from that position through the rotate. If there was a mirror window facing service, that would have been disastrous for Hunter, but well, fortunately they have a different setup in mind from mine, so good for them. And a good 2 rounds for Blue Jays. Now they're up 2-0. They're gonna go to Blue Bar, and that is fairly standard because if you play ranked, everyone would go to Penthouse Theater. But it's a new trend because it used to be like everyone goes to Penthouse Theater, and then when Blue Bar became popular in Pro League, everyone goes to Blue Bar. And then once Penthouse got buffed in the update, they go all the way back to Penthouse. So right now, every site on this map is fairly viable, which means Blue Jay is gonna pick the one side they did have a lot of practice on. They've been basically, if they have been scrimming this map, then they would have been scrimming this map for ages. This side has been around for very long. An issue with this mirror window is that, yeah, sure, you cannot get shot from lobby, but if someone takes cool vibes, normally they wouldn't because someone else will be watching. But if they take cool vibes, they can kill the mirror. So all it would take is a call from the teammate for someone to swing from cool vibes and kill the mirror window player. So you gotta be watching out for that. Now in this position, you can basically deny the default plant on Blue Bar, which means Hyferion would have to have some other idea in mind. Now they are not placing a shield next to the couches there on pink, which means someone would have, in Sunrise, I mean, inside of Sunrise, so someone would have to be wary of that, because if Hyferion are trying to push into Sunrise, then right now what looks to be the best option for them would be that plant on the couch behind the bomb chassis.
It's about to be a minute and 55, and you know the same issue persists really. Well, it's not persisting. You know, they have more than enough time to make an execute. I hate to say it like that because it sounds like every time I say that I'm like, it's basically me like a Karen just rushing them, and I'm not trying to rush them. You know, take all the time you need to make the perfect execute. And it looks like they are. He's gonna miss a couple of shots onto the Ayana clone, gonna give his position away, and it's gonna be Autumn to trade some, you know, firepower with this Jaeger that's persisting on cool vibe stairs. But look at this. Profit He's gonna give his position away by deleting that bandit charge, and the Jaeger's gonna know he's there, and that's a down, but he's gonna get traded out, and it's gonna be Prophet gonna be able to be picked up by his teammate if he decides to turn around, if one of them decides to pick him up, and eventually they do pick him up. And well, okay, now it's an even man count. This time Hunter capitalizing off of a nitro sub from below, and he's gonna grab Autumn on that Twitch. The Twitch drone's gone, so he can't clear it and zap out utility, and he also cannot take care of these mirrors. But you know who can take care of these mirrors? Buck. Buck is still in play, but he's only on 25 HP. He can take care of these mirrors and burn it out. It's talking about the mirrors. Mirror's gonna burn out a kill. Now the critical's gonna follow that up, and it's just a flurry of kills from Blue Jays. The only player that's left in this 1v3 situation is the Sledge, and he just backed out of mud. He's going to back out of towers or mud or whatever you call it. He's going to miss he's going to miss a few shots onto Hunter, now bringing this down to a 1v2. Don't tell me Blue Jays are just going to give this man his ones and let him win every single one, because if they do, that's a throw and a half. But he has 15 seconds left. There's no way. He's probably going to go for frags here. He's going to grab, wow, he's not even going to grab critical. He's going to down him though, but that is an easy kill for critical. Well, not easy. It looked very complicated to hit. He managed to hit the headshot while in the process being shot at. It's kind of funny. And Blue Jays grab 3 rounds in a row on their defense on coastline. We do have a tactical pause here, so we can talk about this game just a little bit. And it's 3 rounds in a row for Blue Jays. I don't know. Wait, what did you say? Oh, I don't know what else to say other than like, what's going on with Hyferion5? This doesn't look at all like the Hyferion5 that won Chalet, albeit it was a very close matchup. But you know, they were, well, at least in regulation, they looked the better team on Chalet, but right now they're looking pretty bad right now on coastline.
Hyferion are mostly playing it correctly in terms of taking what they need to take. They go upstairs, they clear out the Jaeger, they have all the control to play vertically, and then they lose the gunfight from below. Yeah. Which is ultimately, it comes down in that situation to aim. And in that situation, they did not have the aim they need. So, well, unfortunate happenstance. It happens to the best of us. They will call a tactical timeout, but personally in tier 4, unless you have a coach, a tactical timeout is useless. It's a waste of time, because in Pro League, a tactical timeout is used to talk to your coach, who can tell you exactly what's going wrong from an outsider perspective. That extra bit of outsider perspective is crucial so that you can refresh. But you don't have a coach. You're just talking amongst yourselves about things you already know when you're talking between rounds. That's just nothing. So you're wasting time here. And I mean, at least the only benefit then I'd say in this tactical timeout is to break the momentum of the defense. So maybe they finally scrape us around now and make us more competitive. Hopefully they do. Then we'll get a more competitive coastline. And they're going to be going up to, I believe, Hookah. They're going to go back to Hookah. First site they played, and the first site they won fairly decisively. Because in that round, last time on Hookah, Hyferion did not clear out anything, and they just peeked a lot of dumb stuff, like you said. So when that smoke denied the default plant, that round was over. So if they can throw down another smoke, which they cannot because there's no smoke being played, which is very curious. I'm just very uncertain about Blue Jays' chances now, because if they don't have a smoke, the round-winning condition for them last time is now gone. So they're gonna have to be creative. But how can you possibly replace smoke realistically?
Can't, unless you bring T'Chaka, but even then, people don't like to bring T'Chaka just because of, well, it's mainly because of him being, well, a 3-speed, and he's very slow, he's very loud, and on top of that, like, his shuriken launchers, they're not difficult to use. You know, people just prefer the smokes over them because, in theory, the smokes are a lot better than the shuriken launchers, to be fair, even though the shuriken launchers have a lot more ammo. But it's kind of weird, it's kind of precarious that they didn't bring a smoke, and instead I think they brought like the Melusi or Thunderbird. The Thunderbird is a little bit new. I don't think we've seen a Thunderbird in a while in this matchup. I've seen it once from Hunter, but other than that, I don't think Blue Jays have brought her out in a while. And interestingly enough, you know, we don't see it, and we also don't see a Tachanka, but it's whatever. I mean, stuff happens. Teams pick whatever they feel like they feel like what will be successful for them, and Blue Jays obviously feel successful without the smoke. That's why they didn't bring them. But it's quick control of VIP from Hyferion5. You see two players already in here. That's Sophia and the Buck, and you also have a player from below. I don't know. There was a player right here in VIP. So there's 3 players in this area and 1 player below, but no nitro cells being used yet from below because there is nobody with the nitro cell to use it from below. And it's, well, you see them use their utility a little bit in this hallway, and that's one of the weirdest things I can say about Hyferion5. There's not a lot of, I want to say there's not a lot of utility use. There's not a lot of gunfire going on. Neither Izzy's just going to miss every single shot. He's going to have a little bit of trouble killing one of these players. Jaeger literally laying right in front of him, and Melusi ran right in front of his gunfire. Gecko, though, is going to finally get a kill for Stizzy, and that's the player down in Aqua. That's the Melusi gone, and they have a minute advantage, but they have a minute left to go. Around this time on a lot of maps, you know, people usually make an execute around the 50-second, 30-second mark. That's usually kind of the norm on a lot of maps. On Coastline, people usually make and execute way earlier, but Hyferion5 are not everyone, so they're just looking to probably plant very soon. But they don't have any real leverage onto site, and there you go. There's a nitro cell coming out. They have to plant soon. There's about 30 seconds left. And if they get swung on, and if Stizzy dies, he's going to throw a nade at the rotate hole. He's not going to catch a player. And these, oh my god, these holes. He's going to shoot at his own teammate. Xerac ends up grabbing that kill onto Autumn. Now another kill, this time coming out from Hunter. A kill coming out from Spliss. It's just a fairy kill for Blue Jays. And now there's a player in the hallway. There's no way Spliss loses this, and he doesn't. And the last kill goes to Blue Jays. Curious. I'm very... These rounds have been very... It's 4 rounds in a row this time for Blue Jays, and this time I actually do have something to say, but I'm gonna let you talk because I've been talking a lot.
That round ultimately just didn't come down to anything other than Hyferion completely fluking that attack. They had the default plant spot. They wasted the C4. They wasted the impact grenades. Sure, someone could be below, but then you have that player repelling on big window. He could easily repel down and open that window and defend from below. So ultimately, everything could have gone so easily for Hyferion, but they just keep tossing it. They tossed a plant, and then the Twitch is pushing in against that. Every angle was simply covered by Blue Jays. It just wasn't meant to be for Hyferion. 4-0 up now for Blue Jays, which is just very demoralizing, I'd say, especially on attack. This is an attacker-sided map. That might change with the new meta, but so far should stay the same. I mean, it's been mostly made now to be more defender friendly, so you don't get shot from a cheese angle from the roof, where someone can stay there for 10 minutes and still get a kill. But I mean, it's better than nothing, right? It's this map though. Again, it's still fairly attacker-sided, so we'll see. Either way, the hole is pretty much the same upstairs from Blue Jays. They are holding 90 with that mirror window looking into VIP. They don't reinforce VIP, which means giving up VIP control for free to Hyferion. But what can Hyferion really do? Because that skylight, that angle from the roof cannot get denied. Oh, that was a drone hole kill, I believe, against Hunter, who was playing there for some reason and getting killed. Definitely not the best play. You cannot possibly be doing that so early in the round. And now Prophet is the one with the opening kill to make it a 5v4. That is exactly what Hyferion need right now to get this going, because they're down really bad. Oh, they're rushing. They're rushing.
Oh lord, it's a rush coming in from Hyferion5. That's a kill for Xerac though. That's the Fuser down in sight. Oh, now another kill for Xerac. Double kill on the round. The Fuser still down. Oh my god, a third kill kill from Xerox and he grabs Gecko. There's no way the rush ends as quickly as it was started. Oh my god, that rush barely even had a chance to take a hold of. Now, Prophet in a 1v3 because Sins is killed elsewhere. There's no way he wins this. The Fuser's down on site. They have utility to deal with this push if he were to decide to just push in through this window. Nitro cells in the galore, and they have vertical angles from above in VIP. There's no way he wins this, especially with the LMG. The LMG does go bird, but it's not gonna take out 3 players at once. I mean, it can, but it's not going to. Oh, I'm spitting in it. Sorry. Oops. Alright. He's gonna push through.
1v3 situation indeed, as we were going to say, but I don't think he has a chance at all because he will be revealed right now if he tries to break that barbed wire. So, Prophet doesn't really have a chance. At least he'll now try to make some room for himself to push into blue bar, but they should hear that. They know he's coming. There are feet holes in blue bar, I believe, so they can watch that. They do. So now his position is known, but they're playing very conservative. They're not giving him free 1v1s the same way Hyferion gave Xerox 3 1v1s in a row. Yeah, there it is. The peak, the double peak, I believe, from 2 members will finally confirm it. Xerox with quad kill in his round. 4 kills. And he didn't even have to do anything. All he had to do was hold an angle and wait for the 3 members of Hyferion to walk into it.
All he did was just stand there and shoot. That's crazy. I don't like the rush. Literally, it didn't really look good from the start because it didn't have a lot of map control. Regardless, you know, if the mirror wasn't going to kill them, somebody from above was going to kill them because the call outs were probably going to come in. Hey, look, they're literally jumping into sight. They're rushing. Help. And Blue Jays are coordinated enough to deal with that type of rush like that. And it wasn't really them that time. It was just one player. And it's a bit odd to see them try and go for the rush, especially with the little map control that they did have. Maybe it was the catch. I'm pretty sure it was to catch the defenders off guard, but they didn't really time it right, you know. And it's a little bit odd coming out from Hyferion5, considering how good they performed on Chalet, and now coming on here where this is the attacker-sided map. If this is how Blue Jays look on their defense, they're gonna take this 110% on their attacks. I'm guaranteeing you. This is Blue Jays map. It has to be. If I jinx them, oh well. But
it's gonna be a Blue Jays map just because they're 5-0 up. It doesn't even matter that they can't attack properly. Even if they lose this round now, making it 5-1. Hyferion's mental are in the dirt right now. They don't really stand a chance. Oh, ooh, close one. That might have been from all the way out from surface, I believe, because that tracer did not come from the window. So very long angle actually. If that's something that you could capitalize on to make an angle in the future, and if someone would like to try out the angle, then maybe, who knows, we'll see. But for now, very curious setup though, because they're making head height holes and not feet holes. So the player from courtyard would not be able to deny the plant on default spot, but so the smoke can though, so he's fine. Zero gets a kill with the bandit with the MP7 onto High Sense, and it's a 4v5 very, very early on. It was also from Billiard's window, so someone had to be watching that, but inadequately because he's now dead. Hunter gets taken down to 48 HP, and Critical is now dead. He takes a gunfight against the LMGE, which is not a good idea, and the player inside of Kuka is now under siege from someone else on the rappel. 4v4, but Hyferion might be the one to take this round, I'd say, just because they have a lot of the players known. As I say that, Xerox gets a nice C4 toss all the way from Billiards out, and he gets a kill. Coxie gets a kill. That grenade comes out of nowhere and claims Xerox, no warning, and no escape. But now it's a 3v2. They have to find a way to consolidate this win for themselves, because it's looking like a 6-0 for Blue Jays. They're gonna try to push into dirt. I mean mud room. My bad. They're trying to push into mud room, but they don't have any space, and they would have to find a player. But if he walks in here, he's gonna walk into a crossfire. He's about to do it now. told him he's got to be careful. He has to know where these players are because they're watching, and even one player who gets shot will then mean that someone else will swing. Two players now pushing into the mud room, but they're isolating themselves. C4 would surely claim the Twitch, but it doesn't. And Hunter is making it so difficult for them to get anything going. This little pixel peek. Or Twitch sees that player, two pushes out at the same time, and he gets smoked off. Everything is just going badly for Hyferion right now.
Yeah, this is gonna be a flawless, I think, for Blue Jays in the round. There's not a lot that Hyferion5 can do. You know, Spliz has literally one more smoke canister left, and Hunter's just gonna get aggressive. He is gonna die, but Autumn does too. Hunter's not even dead yet. He's just down. He's just gonna be used as meat here, just for the attacks to try and kill, and he's not even gonna be paid attention to. Spliz is just gonna grab both of those kills in the round. I mean, flawless coming out from Blue Jays. Just really weird. It's weird coming out from Hyferion5, and I've said that over and over again. But it's weird, and it doesn't matter if this is an attacker side of map. I would say the same thing if Hyferion5 were on defense and they had like a 6-0 flawless whatever against them like they're doing now. If they were on offense or defense or whatever, I would say the same thing. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. It's not about like them losing gunfights. It's about their mental right now. It's just completely chalked, and it's not looking good. That tactical timeout not working in their favor. Like you said, it was kind of useless because like you don't have an outside perspective. You just have a bunch of players who are playing the game with you, telling you the same thing that you already know. It's not looking good for them, and it looks completely off. I'm not too sure what's going on right now.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
7-0. They're trying to make it a 7-0, which everyone is hoping it will be a 7-0.
Located by attackers.
Because otherwise,
Please.
I mean, I'm not gonna even suggest a comeback. There is no way they can come back from this, so it's gonna be a 7-0, at most 7-1, worst case scenario 7-2. But Blue Jays just cannot throw this one for sure. They are on 6-0 match point. Hyferion will have to win 5 flawless rounds, but like you said, mental is shocked, everything is gone, just nothing to fight for.
There's
So
not a lot of.
yeah, if they give up now, they'd still have to tie, so it's not the end of the world. So of course, let's see what Blue Jays can muster. They have a fairly standard setup, except for the IQ, which is not even that great considering Valkyrie is banned. So yeah, Spills, he's gonna chill a bit. He tries to control that Zofia recoil, but that recoil right now is utterly ridiculous and stupid. It's a dumbass nerf from Ubisoft, and I'm very I'm glad he's trying to learn it, but he's not gonna. He's wasting his time. The LMG is just better right now. So right now, Blue Jays are trying to push into this defense from Hyferion5, but their shield is an easy clear. Not gonna get the player, I don't think, with that grenade. But they have all this. They have this setup spread out upstairs, which means if Blue Jays know better, they might be able to. Well, they don't know better about this drone hole, that's for sure, because that was a lot of damage taken off of the buck by Gecko, critical, trying to push in, but there is someone else inside of VIP. That was almost a death inside of Gecko, but Gecko actually gets a kill. That is the first opening pick for Hyferion in a long time. That is exactly what they need. Stizzy trying to take this gunfight against the player above, but he does not get the angle. He is aware of, he is scared of someone on service, so he's gonna be wary of it. But so far, Blue Jays are unhindered in their vertical play, which establishes a lot of control. And let's see where they will end up trying to plant.
You know, they have this kitchen window as an option, but I think with the presence that the rest of the team of Hyferion5, well, there's nobody really in courtyard to deny this window plant if they do end up retrieving the fuser, which they should, because it's literally they don't know that the fuser's just like dropped like right there, so they should be able to recover the fuser easily. But it doesn't look like neither one of them is gonna get the fusers. Stizzy Hunter's just gonna jump right into sight, and he jumped right into what on earth is this? He better not get that kill. He's gonna get the kill onto Stizzy. There's no way that you're that unaware of somebody else's positionings. This game has just gone horrifically bad for Hyferion5.
Oh no.
And it's going to be a kill coming out from Sins. Is now going to be a kill coming out from Xerac 3v1. Oh, what a shot onto Hunter 1v2. Sins is just going back and forth. He doesn't know where to shoot. He's panicking right now. He's getting pressure from Courtyard by the Buck. The Buck is on 25 HP. He got a kill. There's no way. There's no way he clutches this out. He's in a gunfight. He's in a gunfight with one of them. He has down another. So this is theoretically a 1v1. There's no way Xerac can pick up his teammate. He has to go for the kill.
Yeah,
There's no
they
way.
lost this round.
I can't believe that. Well, they didn't grab the fuser. They didn't recover it, and they were trying to go. Hunter had a good position in kitchen. He jumped in and he caught the defenders off guard. There's just no way. I hope they don't. They bet not come back from this. There's no way they come back from this.
They're not gonna come back
Defender
from
side of
this.
coastline.
That's just a poor play at the end of that round there from Blue Jays. You had 2v1. Actually, you had a 3v1. And where was the fuser on the top floor? And where were the players throwing themselves at the Melusi for individual 1v1s? Why? Because how should I know, dude?
This match has fried my brain. I think I was casting a match with Jaeger last week, and that match fried our brains too because they planted the diffuser only once in that whole game. In this game, it's just been a lot of misplays in the weirdest of ways. They've been playing the game correctly. I do like what they're doing, both teams, but it's just been not in this map really, just mainly from Blue Jays that I'm liking. It's just a bit weird. Like some of the errors that I'm seeing, I don't usually see in like competitive play. Not even really in T4. Yikes, I don't know what to say about that round other than they literally just gave the Melusi her ones, and what do people do with their ones? They win them. There's not much else you can really say.
You really have to go and move it to the MP5 of all guns, huh? Of all the guns in the game, of all the of all the guns in the game, it's just the MP5 you lose to. The unthinkable situation there from Blue Jays. Well, this round 6-1. Blue Jays are still have 5 chances to close it out. But can they recover their mental? Because the thing is that Blue Jays, yeah, sure, they lost 1 round, but they should still be fairly confident because they have everything going for them. If they lose this 6-0, I swear to God, dude, they're never gonna play this game again. There's no way you can lose a 6-0 in such a fashion.
They get kicked out of Talent League.
Surely not. There it is. The kill for critical. That is important. That is exactly what Blue Jays need, and that is what's going to win in this round, except for when Autumn peek Hunter and kills him like that. As I keep saying that, they just keep funneling players into the barrels of Hyferion, and they certainly not lose this one. Thank God. They got the down onto the smoke. Might not get the confirm. Grenade might, though. When it goes in, it does not get the smoke, but they do get the player, and now it's a 2v4. Critical gets a kill. Everything's going the right way for Blue Jays. There it is. You do not know how happy production is right now because it's now a 1v3, and they cannot possibly win this. The diffuser goes down, and everything is locked down. This match is over. It's a 7-1 win for Blue Jays. And I can hear Epsilon like screaming in the background for sure. He's very happy. I'm also very happy. Everyone's happy.
Thank God.
Are ending this matchup.
I could not handle. I don't think I could handle another overtime. I would have.
Oh
that
my
would have
good
been
lord.
crazy.
Absolute stomp though. There's nothing for me to analyze from that match. There's just absolute stomp.
Xerac went nuclear though. 17-4. 17-4. I mean, he did. There's no. You have to wonder, like, if that's how did Blue Jays lose the last map the way that they did in overtime? But on coastline, they absolutely snubbed Hyferion5. Their defenses were near perfection. I have to say their setups were great, and the way they played off of each other on coastline was amazing. Whereas with Hyferion5, it just seemed very uncoordinated. They did lose a lot of their gunfights, and then after that, it was just really awkward plays from then on out. There's not a lot. I can really say. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, it's fine. There's nothing to say. It's just that they
There's
stomped.
nothing to say.
Maybe they scrimmed them. Maybe they scrimmed coastline more because in tier 4 there's only 2 maps in tier 4: Oregon and Clubhouse, or maybe sometimes Villa. Yeah, so like I said, there's only really 2 maps inside of tier 4, which means a lot of teams don't practice the lesser map. They don't practice coastline. They don't practice chalet. They don't practice what is that map again? I don't remember. Either way, if they don't practice and that's what happens, I do hope that Hyferion do practice on that map. I think they do. I'm just assuming though, because you can't really expect anyone in tier 4 to actually play these maps anyway. But at least today we got a good matchup in the first one, and then second one stomp. But again, at least it was not Oregon. Thank you both teams for picking these 2 maps. I actually thank you. I wouldn't lose it if we play Oregon again. But yeah, either way, that was the day. Each team get 1 map. Very close first map. So heartbreaking one for Blue Jays. They could have gotten the win, but either way, that should be it for today. And I have no more words to say. Do you, Wombi? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and just to mention it as well, we are also looking for production staff. So if any of you are interested in casting slash producing slash observing for tier 4 league, where you can get some action, where you can try to pretend you're Kickstar, for example, then please do and get in here, and we'll wait for you with open arms. But that would be it for me for now. Rick and Morty and Wombi. Say good night.
Good night.
Good night.